now? Can you see me? Yes, it's working. God damn. Yes, it's working. God damn. Okay, let's mute. Make sure I mute Twitch so I don't actually get all the echo. Sorry for the unprofessional start, everyone. But hi, how are you all doing this evening? Hope you're all doing well. Sorry if there's any technical issues. I've had to reinstall Windows, and I think I've got it to where it was before, and maybe with my mic actually fixed for once. So, hello. How are you all? Very good? Good. It's time for another episode.
Yeah, we're good.
It's time for another edition of the Vampire RP. All the returning usual suspects, Cup, Talon, and Stephanie. Hope we're all doing good this evening.
I am. I can't speak for these guys.
The anxiety's already built up from last time. Speaking of last time, let us do a quick recap of what happened, and we will get started straight away. So, you returned to the prince after your... wrong order. You finished with your first meeting with the prince after dealing with the events with Oscar. You had a bit of your own personal R&R time to kind of ponder and calibrate yourselves after the events of that night. Stephanie and Talon went to feed, as expected. Diego decided to cause trouble and got into a bar fight, effectively. He won that bar fight and nearly killed the other person. Well done, Diego. After all that nonsense happened, you returned back to your homes and rested, and then got requested by the prince to see him once again. You came to see a fairly upset prince, although you're not exactly sure on the context of why his mood is so foul. But a blood hunt has been put out on what was labelled Joshua Carwick, the vampire who sired Oscar without his permission. Diego decided to test fate and got himself dominated by the prince and had his throat cut. Luckily, not fatally for him. You then you tried to hijack a car. It didn't work out well. You ruined that car. You then bought one because Talon is a trust fund kid, effectively. Talon also bought a house that he needs to move into.
I'm not apologising.
Then you found yourselves inside a kind of underground illegal fighting pit, where you found Joshua Carwick, aka the Spider of the Slums, aka Mr. Montgomery. He has a lot of titles. Fighting against his opponent of Quincy Sanders. If you remember that name, it's because it was Diego's former roommate. Talon, or Charlie, came across his beloved sire, and they sat together and watched the fight unfold. And where we left off, the last moment we left off was Joshua was escorting Quincy into the changing rooms after their fight had concluded, and he was declared the winner. One second, there's a lot of noise coming from the other room, so I just need to ask them to turn it down if that's okay. Sorry that's unprofessional, but I know it's picking up slightly.
It's alright, these things happen.
Meanwhile, my character's sitting next to my sire, being mildly terrified.
Sorry, I know my dad's listening to some music, and I didn't want to get accidentally copyright struck and DMCA'd on this. Sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. So, just to recap, quickly, Charlie, Esther, and Amina are sat in the VIP stand, Diego is on the opposite side in kind of the crowd, just kind of stood, was watching the ring from a separate location. And that's pretty much where you were stood. And you were all facing the center of the arena. Excuse me. The crowd it's a bit disappointed as the fight didn't quite end in as much bloodshed, but you get the feeling that the overall vibe of the crowd is, yeah, that was an alright fight, but they would prefer to see the upcoming one that they've promised within 4 days. Who are we gonna go with? Actually, I think Diego. Do you have anything planned in mind that you wish to do?
Are they leaving the stage? Sorry. We're leaving the stage at this point.
They have already left the stage and they've gone into the locker room.
I'm gonna head out and go find where the back door would be for...
Okay. I'll let you do that because I'll probably take you a few minutes because it's a pretty big building, so you'll probably have to walk around. And are you going to be like subtle about it, or are you just going to stroll in like you own the place when you're walking around?
I'll try to be subtle.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Okay. Charlie, Esther, you see a kind of disappointed Armina sat next to you. She's kind of resting her elbow on her leg with one of her hand resting on her face. She looks a bit frustrated, and if she was probably alive, she'd be probably heavy breathing and sighing, but obviously she doesn't require that.
Something on your mind, Masquerade?
She looks towards you and then kind of glares at Charlie. Is like, It would maybe appear that my good luck charm is not quite as lucky as he first made out.
How did it become to this good luck charm of yours?
She kind of uncomfortably places her hand on Charlie's face. You can feel she's a very, very cold individual. Your sudden chills go down your spine. It's just like...
Oh yeah, do I need to roll a composure for this?
Yeah, actually, roll composure.
Okay. Give me a moment. I'm just going to get into my character sheet. Composure. Composure with resolve.
Yeah, resolve.
No modifiers. Oh, oof.
You're able to hold your cool, but maybe a little bit of a twitch in your eye. It really isn't really picked up on. It's like, this man here took a very good care of me when I was in a bad place, you could say. She starts kind of stroking her finger along your cheekbone. It's like,
it was my pleasure.
It was your job.
I can enjoy my job.
You kind of feel her go from a light stroke to a bit of a nail scratch into your skin.
My apologies.
I think we should go to the bookie to make sure I've been paid, don't you think?
Certainly, that seems like a very apt move.
Do you wish to come with us, Madame Desimeres?
Oui, I think I shall. This is my first evening here. Perhaps I would like to come here again and place a bet of my own.
Well, it would appear that someone here has a bit more confidence than the doctor. She takes her finger off your hand, but you do know that her nails has dug in slightly into your skin.
Yeah, I'm not even going to touch it. I'm not going to raise my hand up because I know it would be disrespectful, and disrespecting this woman is paramount to suicide.
She stands up quite briskly and goes, I believe it's the gentleman that's meant to lead the way.
Oh, if that was my cue, I start walking towards the bookie.
As they're leaving the VIP box, Esther will do a quick last glance over the crowd of kindred just to see if any familiar faces pop up again
Okay.
as she's leaving, just in case someone has taken notice of her.
Make awareness and wits for me, please.
Two. I think.
Two hunger successes. 1 second, I want to roll some things real quick. I mean, nah, that's fine.
Okay.
You gaze upon the crowd. You notice it's getting a bit rowdy. Probably people are starting to invade the arena space. They're kind of looking around. Some people are kind of throwing faux fights, just trying to. It's a bit of that's the kind of mood and the vibe you get. You can see that there's beers going around. However, you feel an unnerving presence within the crowd. It's very difficult to point out precisely where it is, but did you know where Diego was?
I believe she lost her eye on Diego once they decided to go to the VIP box.
Okay, so change that information real quick. You notice something strange. You get a strange feeling. I'm assuming. No, you don't have that. Never mind. I'm just trying to think of how to word this. Sorry, just give me a second. You get this feeling that you can't quite pick out because of how dense the crowd is.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel like at any one time, you feel like there's at least 2 sets of eyes on your person at any given time.
She does her best to keep her composure, and she just proceeds, standing close to Armina and Charlie as they move.
Okay.
Kind of as a gesture to show that she is with other people. She's not here alone.
The eye, when you get a bit closer to him, it seems to like slightly fade off a little bit. You can feel it still, but it's less prominent. Okay.
She stays close with them, and she'll just make a gesture as though they're moving out for the evening. She'll just move the collar of her coat up.
Okay, I want to quickly go over to Diego, if that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Diego, you found your way outside, and you started following the outskirt of the building. Because the way the slums have been laid out, there's a lot of buildings. The buildings are kind of they're not terraced. They're all mostly linked together, so you find yourself having to walk a bit around a block of buildings before you're able to find the other end effectively. So you have to go all the way around. It's a bit of a trot, but you don't seem to realize that no one's been following you. You can see from about a couple buildings away a rear entrance to the large building that you just left. Excuse me. Outside the back is a couple small vehicles, a back door, a small little stairwell that leads up to a first floor back door, and you see 2 men stood outside the back, both wearing suits.
Okay. Is there anywhere that's kind of where I can still see the back doors, but doesn't look suspicious?
There's plenty of things like there's small buildings that have like little alcoves in them. You could probably stand near like behind a dumpster and kind of keep an eye on from your position. You could basically stand in multiple locations and probably.
I want to stay nearby, but not too close to like flag warning signs. Obviously,
you want to be able to like. if you see something strange, you want to be able to like run in. Is that the kind of distance you want to be at?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you get probably around a building's length away, so you can pretty close, but you're not in like an obvious. You find yourself behind a dumpster, and you're keeping yourself quiet to yourself. And if you just
I'll likely light one of these 6 as well to kind of like
okay,
make it look a little bit like I'm just kind of there,
chilling.
not actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, you're being inconspicuous. No worry. Okay, I'm gonna go back because you might be waiting a little bit. If that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Telling Charlie, Stephanie, Esther. You follow. Well, Esther and Armina follow Charles to the bookie. It's quite obviously labelled, so it's not. You find it very easy to locate as you go to it. The bookie there is a kind of dishevelled, old-looking man, probably you would assume in his late 70s, although with Armina stating that everyone here is sired, you couldn't possibly really put your finger down on how old this person actually is. So he kind of looks at you, grunt and all. It's like, yep, how can I help?
Amina, would you like me to, or would you like to take the reins here, as you are much more capable at this kind of thing than I am?
Of course I would, dear Charles. She's going to give you a pat on the nose as she kind of pushes past you. So it's like,
That's fine.
hello, Madam Cedricson, here to collect my winnings. Goes, I'm sorry, madam, there are no winnings for you. Excuse me? It quite clearly states that you bet on the spider killing Quincy Adams by the end of the fight, and given that he walked out with at least some support, he is very much alive. You notice her relatively jovial expression is fading quickly from her face.
Bad decision, my friend, bad decision.
Is that so now, is it?
Esther takes the slightest, smallest step away to give some.
Oh yeah,
a bit of...
I'm yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I'm just like I know what's about to go down. I'm getting out the way. Not enough to be away from Amina, but enough so I'm not in the backlash.
Charles?
Yes.
As you try and step away, you feel a sudden force grip on your wrist.
Okay, in which case I stand my ground.
1 second. How angry?
And I with her. If it's Amina, I'm staying there.
You look down to your wrist to see it is her hand. And
In which case, the moment I feel that, I begrudgingly take a step forward.
could you make a composure test for me, please?
Oh yeah, I'm prepared to fail this. Composure.
I'm gonna say subterfuge is the secondary.
Oh shit. Okay, give me a moment. Subterfuge as a secondary.
Mm-hmm. So
composure.
you're just rolling composure because you have no subterfuge.
Okay, just composure. Give me a second. 1 minute. Oh, roll 20's being weird. There we go. Oh, shit. Okay. Hang on, that's the wrong button. Oh yeah, no.
Why have you only rolled 1 dice?
I don't know. Because it's 100 dice, and because it's only have a composure of 2. Yeah.
You wince, and if you was capable of crying, you probably would be, as you notice her fingers have started digging into your skin. And you could probably guess that they have gone into your flesh slightly. Would you like to?
Oh yeah, I was expecting that.
Point of superficial damage, please.
Oh, certainly. I was surprised it's taken this long.
It's like she kind of turns her head to you with that kind of robotic stiltedness, trying to force a smile, but you can tell it's very much synthetic. It's like, maybe your good luck has run out, Mr. Morgan.
My apologies. I am with you still.
After a brief moment, she lets go of you. I think it's time you leave, Mr. Morgan.
Very well. My apologies. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
I'm sure I will. I'll be seeing you soon.
I lower my head towards her and I turn around and I walk away, going internally. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
She then turns towards Esther, noticing that you've taken a step away from her. Madam?
I wanted to give you some privacy to conduct your business, in however manner you saw fit.
You're not afraid of me, are you, madam?
No, not in the slightest, my dear.
Good.
I respect you. Quite the opposite.
Good. I'm not quite particularly fond of weak-willed women around me. You better make sure he doesn't do something silly before I meet up with him in private, don't you think?
Esther just smiles politely and nods her head. I will keep that in mind.
I hope you have a fine evening.
As do you.
I'm assuming you're walking away?
Esther's going to... She gives a quick... catches her eye at Charlie and gives him a nod. I'm going to take a little bit of a stroll around and enjoy the night atmosphere. I'm sure we'll be able to meet up at some point soon.
Very well. Enjoy your evening, madam.
She nods ahead to her and then to Charlie, and then she's going to turn and she's going to try and discreetly find her way over to where the exit for the changing rooms would be.
Right. Okay. So...
Or like a back entrance.
Okay. So make an awareness test for me, please. Make it with investigation as the secondary.
So it's awareness. It's either intelligence or...
Does it only let you roll on the primary stats, does it? Okay.
Yeah, it's either a combination of traits and skills.
Yeah,
so
I thought you could do 2 skills. Might be.
No worries. Wits, maybe?
Yeah, go with wits.
1 success.
It's not a particularly difficult one, this one. So... Ooh. It's 2 crit fails, though.
Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't see that.
I can always check what dice I actually roll.
Okay, fine.
So, you're kind of looking around. You're kind of hoping you'd be able to spot something that you can get via the inside, but you suspect that the only way of getting into the changing rooms would be through the back entrance.
Okay. She's just going to try and walk around and just see if she can spot a back entrance.
You spend a good amount of time pushing and shoving past people. Well, politely pushing and shoving past people. Charles, are you following her?
Oh, if Amina no longer wants to use my presence, then yes.
just clarifying, that's all.
Oh yeah.
And you're able to spot that there is a basically in the far back corner. There does look like there is an entrance to a rear section of the building that you can get into. It appears to have just one person stood there, and it's not really, no one's really gathered over there. It's just he's kind of on his lonesome.
Okay. Esther will find a shadowy spot that's within eye line of where she can see this back entrance, and she is hang on just a second. She's going to use Cloak of Shadows to just stand still but invisible.
Okay. Not to worry.
So, intents and purposes, I'm looking at Esther, and then suddenly she disappears, right?
I'm not sure. Cloak of Shadow. I want to.
Cloak of Shadows doesn't require a rouse check because you're just standing still.
It's not the rouse check. I'm more just like if he sees you. If you see it, how its exact wording is Talon, see you just magically disappear. Some kind of cover. As long as they have some kind of cover, make no sound and don't move. The only mechanical supernatural means can detect them. No. So she just vanishes from existence from you, Talon.
Okay, so I see that. I like, Amina's behind me. Well, I can't go back there. Esther's gone. Diego's nowhere to be seen. I'm stuck in this room. Fuck it, let's mingle.
So what you just kind of interact with the crowd, are you? Or are you going to the door?
Yeah, what I'll do is, as I've just been left on my lonesome, and I can't see any evidence of anything going on, I'm just going to keep my ears open, see if there's any mention of well, it's probably going to be a few mentions of the spider, but specifically I'm listening out for anything that would indicate where he's probably going to go after the fight, if there's anyone who knows him personally, that kind of thing.
Okay, make an investigation using charisma as your secondary.
Okay, let's do this. Investigation. Investigation. Where are we? Give me a second. I'm trying to find my investigation. Oh, no wonder it's terrible. With charisma. At least that's not too bad. Hey!
Okay. You scout the room a bit, chatting to people as you kind of interact with them. You kind of getting a vibe for the room. You do hear a bit of chatter. Yes, actually. You hear that there is a bit of a rumor going on that the spider has a habit of not sticking in the same kind of domain for particularly long periods of time. However, based on a very strange conversation that you overhear, you hear from people that talk, trying to keep it quiet and subtle, but obviously they have to speak up a bit because it's a noisy room. And it's like you hear this. We can find him on that pier near the center of the river. If we can get to him, before the end of the night, we have the best chance of getting rid of him. And that's all you kind of really pick up. That's all you kind of really pick up on before too much extra noise is kind of draining out what they're saying from you.
Okay. I'm going to So the pier at the end of. Hang on, give me a second. Just making notes here. The pier. Excellent. Right. Okay. Well, that's great. Now I need to find Diego and Esther.
Speaking of Diego, you've probably been stood there for about 12 minutes now, maybe 15.
Alright.
You've gone through most of your cigarette. Maybe you've lit another one in that time. Then you notice that the door that the two guys are stood by opens up. You see Joshua's head just stick out, and you can't quite make out what's been said. He's raising his voice a little, but not quite enough for you to be able to hear it from the distance you're at. But he looks a bit angered in the face, from what you can tell from this distance, and then very shortly after, the door slams, and then the two members of staff just leave the back door and start walking in the opposite direction to you.
Interesting. Is he still there?
Yeah, he slammed the door on his way back in. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I wish to head towards the door. The like and try not to be spotted by the two guys.
They are literally walking the opposite direction. They're not even facing the direction.
Oh, okay.
That when I say opposite, they basically go down the flight of stairs, turn to face away from you, and walk up the street.
All right. I'll go to the door and can I hear anything through it?
Let me pull up your character sheet real quickly. to make this bigger. There we go. Make an awareness and use wits as your secondary. I'm feeling nice. Nothing. You don't hear anything. You suspect there might be some kind of sound insulation or padding because there's absolutely no noise coming from inside.
I wish to see if I can open the door slightly.
You put your hand on the handle and it doesn't appear to be locked.
Is there anyone there when I'm looking?
Well,
Because I'm going to open it and like peering a little bit, just kind of.
You peer your head inside. You're looking along the wall. So all the lights appear to be out, but you're a vampire, so you have the ability to see through the night.
Mm-hmm.
There appears to be. You see, as the door opens, you see a long hallway that veers off into a T section about 20 meters down, and you don't see anything else.
Interesting. Like nothing. I guess I'll just make my way in.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay. Esther, are you still watching that door?
Yep, she's just still watching that door, standing perfectly still, hands in her pockets. When she noticed there isn't any movement for a while, she'll just occasionally glance around to see if anyone was potentially following her when she separated herself from Charlie and the others.
Make an awareness test for me, please.
Would that be wits and awareness?
Make it wits, yeah.
Ooh, 3 successes.
Okay. Did roll a 1, so that takes away one of the successes. That's 2 overall. You felt like, now you've had a bit of chance to sort of quiet to yourself and calm down, you feel that once you've enabled the Cloak of Shadows, the eyes on you was completely severed.
Okay.
You feel like that. You feel like you're not being perceived at this current moment in time. However, as you're watching the door, it eventually does open as the original member of staff stood out away from it. You see what appears to be a young woman step out, ponytailed blonde hair. It's very difficult to fully make out her face because she's only just peering out the door slightly. Interestingly, you notice she's wearing some kind of lab robe of some kind, lab coat of some kind. You see, she's got a necktie on, fully fed, posh black trousers, a pair of combat boots, and she kind of just taps on the shoulder of the guard. She seems to be whispering in his ear. I'm just offering the chance of you potentially using your power to see if you can listen in.
Does she have heightened senses? No, she doesn't have heightened senses.
No,
she has sense the unseen.
Yes, that's right. That was Charles that had that. My apologies.
No worries. She just narrows her eye and like her eyes and her jaw just heightens just a little bit. She just watches very, very curiously, still keeping her distance and not moving to keep Cloak of Shadows up.
She's probably talking for a good 20 seconds into his ear. He doesn't respond very much, but he eventually she closes the door behind herself. The man looks around and he starts kind of making a bit of distance away from the door, probably about 10-15 meters. So he's kind of like stood closer in like open space.
Mm-hmm.
But he seems to be just looking around the room now, keeping an eye on things.
Okay. Esther will just keep in her current position, but she'll also just do a quick glance around to see if she can spot Charlie or Diego.
You're able to spot Charlie. He's not really being quiet and stuff. He's kind of interacting with a lot of people. He's a bit more well dressed than everyone here, so he's quite easy to pick out in the crowds.
Yeah, thought he'd be fairly easy to spot.
Are you trying to get? If you try to get his attention, you lose your cloak of shadows. So.
Yeah, she's just staying where she is until she has eyes completely on Joshua. So she's just going to stay where she is and keep lookout.
Okay. Go back to Diego then. You make your way to the end of the T section. It's as you. I'm guessing you just peer your head and look left and right to see what you see.
Yep.
As you look to your right, you see three doors. One that looks like that on basically. If you look at the T section, you turn right. There's a door on the left wall. And it's a lot. It's basically it's by the way, it's a high roof building, by the way, but you can't quite see the top because it's very dark. The left door, that's where a lot of the noise is coming from. So you suspect that door leads to the main room. On the far side, where the down the corridor about 40 meters, you see a door that leads at the very edge, and another door next to it. So basically, it goes to a long corridor, it reaches a dead end, and there's two doors either side each other. On the left-hand side, you see two more doors on the left wall, on the left side. I know, sorry if this is a bit confusing, but say if I'm not clear. And you notice that there is little, like, stars with what you assume are nameplates on them, but because from the angle you kind of stood at, you probably can't perceive what's said on them.
I should go have a nosy at them.
Okay. I want you to make an awareness test for me, please. Use wits.
Thank you. Please.
Oh, so you're walking down this hallway, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. As you kind of step forward, you suddenly hear one of the doors open that's coming from the right way. It was the door that was leading to the main room. You are quick enough and reflexive enough to be able to go back into the main corridor before the door fully opens.
Thankfully.
And you see the woman as described to Esther earlier. Bit difficult to make out her face because she's got bangs in front of her face. She's not quite but lab coat, boots, like that kind of the works, that kind of thing. And she is currently making her way towards you.
Shit.
Well, in your direction. She hasn't seen you.
Does it look like she's going to the other side of the hallway?
She is going in a straight line from the right side that you was looking down.
The best thing I can do, I feel, would either be leave or hide against the wall that she's coming from.
Okay.
And like push my body up against a wall so when she's walking past, I'm not like fully in the hallway.
Okay. Do you want to make a stealth test for me, please?
Yes.
Use dexterity as your secondary modifier. Got a lot of dice here, so you'll probably be very subtle.
No.
Did you roll any ones? Oof.
Many ones, much fail.
Diego.
Yeah.
In a panic reflex, you basically with a bit too much force, just basically bash yourself against the wall. The noise of you colliding with it reverberates through the hallway.
Fuck.
The voice of the woman calls out, "All right, who's there?
Shit.
Joshua, is that you? Don't have time for these games. You've got something you need to do. Get it done. Who's there? I know you're around that corner. Whoever's there, show yourself now."
What do I do?
Steph, are you just focusing on that door, are you?
Yep, she's just focusing on the door. If It seems like it's taking longer than she expected.
With how loud she shouted and how much echo is going to be in that hallway, you're probably able to pick up on it if you're focusing there.
Okay, if she hears that voice, she is going to. Has that also got the attention of Charlie?
Charlie's a bit too deep in the crowd to have heard that.
Okay.
I hear nothing.
Okay. She will move and then come out of Cloak of Shadows as though she's just kind of casually. She'll just like have her lighter out and she'll just flick it shut as though she just came back from having a smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll go over and she'll grab Charlie on the shoulder.
Okay, that'll probably take you a minute to like weave your way through the crowd to grab him.
Yep, kind of occasionally glancing over at the door just to make sure he doesn't slip away.
Okay. Diego, do you have any response that you want to try?
Where roughly is she?
She's about halfway down the right corridor.
And there's no like doors near me, is that I could slip into.
There is one, but it's a bit far. So you'd probably have to run in order. Unless you're able to move very quietly, she will be able to hear you moving because there's a lot of echo in this corridor.
Unless I take my shoes off. That might take me a little bit. Don't mind it.
It might take a minute to get your boots off. Yes.
Damn. Dread my fashion. Could I bucket to one of the doors?
You want to sprint? Okay.
It's that or I take her out, and I'm.
You're not feeling confident, are you?
No, I don't know if it's worth it. No, it might be. No, fuck it. I'm gonna try.
Sorry, what? Hello?
I believe their mic might have cut out.
Oh dear.
Oh no! There we go. We can hear you again.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll pull up.
So what did you say you wanted to do? I didn't catch.
Well, because she's nearby, it'd be easier to last witness it. I want to try and knock her out somehow.
Assault.
Luck. It's better than killing her.
Violence is not the answer.
It is in my world. Right. Oh, I cracked my knuckles a little bit too hard there. Yeah, she's partway down the hallway. She'd still notice me, but I could run real fast, so...
You would be able to rush her, yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna rush her and hit her.
Okay.
Just try and... I don't know how I'd knock her out, though, from where I am.
You're basically thinking how you would want to... If you want my suggestion, you basically run round from the corner and clothesline her.
Yes! That's what I want to do.
That's basically what I imagine you're describing to me right now.
Yes! I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, like, exactly. It's like, I could picture it. I just... How do words?
Okay, we got there in the end. Alright. Make a brawl test using dexterity as the secondary.
Look! Roll a what test?
A brawl test.
Okay. I caught the second part, not the first, that's all.
Sorry, I picked up a dice that I dropped.
It was brawl on dex, correct?
Yes.
I wanted to make sure.
Oh shit.
Yes! Violence is the answer!
Right.
God damn it.
Okay, I need to roll some dice. Give me a minute.
Oh, shit. Please do bad. Please do bad.
Diego.
Not me do bad.
It's just you know what things like this happen in Freeze, right?
Okay.
Please.
Okay. So, Diego, you run out from the hallway. You see she kind of fixes her eyes on you. Who the hell are you? You sprint towards her. I'm assuming you don't say anything. You're just running in for the punch.
Yep.
As you get within within the meter, you feel like your fist is about to connect with her face, and then suddenly you feel an immense pain in your stomach as she has ducked and punched you right there. You feel like one of your ribs has definitely been smashed.
Oh fuck.
And with the momentum you had, you basically fly past her and roll on to hit the floor. Esther, you definitely hear all that. As the reverb just... probably because you was in the moment, you didn't quite catch it, but you hear the reverb of the echo of her fist colliding with your rib cage.
How much damage is that?
It'll be 2 not significant damage.
Superficial?
Aggravated
damage.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Do you do anything in response to that, Esther?
She just grips Charlie's shoulder tighter and just jots ahead over the door. Something's happening in there, and we need to be ready for when they come out. When he comes out.
I bet this is something to do with Diego. Right, let's go.
I'm gonna die.
And as she's walking over with Charlie, she just mutters under her breath, I'm going to resume my position as scout. You keep an eye on the door, and I'm not responsible for Diego's behavior. He could die in there for all I know. And she's just going to give Charlie kind of a bit of a kind of a half-hearted pat. You can tell she's kind of just gritting her teeth with just, of course this happens. And then she just goes back over, kind of discreetly slips into the shadows again, plays with her lighter again as though she's going to go for another smoke, and then she Cloak of Shadows again.
Okay.
Resume her position as scout.
Talon, what does Charlie do?
Okay, I want to go as close to the door as possible without being suspicious, and I'm going to use heightened senses to work out what on earth is going on the other side of the door.
Okay. I don't think you need to rouse check for heightened senses, so...
No. I'm just going to get to my actual skills. Heightened senses. And... boop. Oh, shit.
Well, yep. You engage into the inner thoughts of the planes, and you are able to hear everything that's going on in that room. Your hearing is precise, so the noise behind you isn't overwhelming to you.
Oh, that's pleasant.
Diego, she turns to face you as she turns around and she finishes standing up. I'll ask again, who the hell are you?
There's no chance I can do that again.
Not from the floor.
Like it was worth an ask. I'm a friend. You kind of caught me off guard. Look, I'm just want to talk to someone, and I'll leave. Right? Friends? Sorry, I tried to punch
you. I facepalm.
Esther's eye twitches.
You can't hear what's happening, but you could probably see me face palming.
Her brain's just like, she heard a slam, she heard someone shouting, and Diego's not in sight. She knows. She knows in her core that something is wrong.
I'm going to need a minute to work out what the hell I want you to roll. Give me a second.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Make a persuasion roll using
Yeah.
charisma as the secondary, but with a -4 penalty.
That's all of my dice!
Then you are not able to succeed. I apologize. No, tell you what. I'll give you this. Roll one single d10.
Why?
Her face goes from annoyance to bitter anger. It's like, you tried to assault me, and now you're trying to imply that you've done nothing wrong. She starts approaching you. Heavy footsteps in tow. You can tell Stephanie from your position she's getting louder.
She just stays her position. She's watched. They've been instructed to go after Joshua. He's not in sight yet.
Telling do you respond to this anything going on, or you're just allowing it to happen?
Well, I'm just trying to Right, okay, I may need to make an intelligence test here. Now, with my limited understanding of the rules, does Charlie know that it is actually illegal to vampires to kill other vampires without just cause, reason, or things being preordained to be so?
It is something that the prince told you as one of the tenants.
Yes,
I think
okay.
he told us
So,
before we left.
yeah, so in which case, if this is the case, believing that this place has some affiliation to the Camarilla, I am going to stay quiet and I'm going to allow Diego to get his ass handed to him.
No!
She approaches you, Diego, and grabs you by the throat. She lifts you up to dangle you in the air. You feel a sudden shock of pain as your dislodged rib is probably moving inside your body very uncomfortably. She looks at you and goes, young, healthy, for the most part. Maybe Joshua can have 2 meals tonight. And she just basically slams you into the floor. You take a point of superficial damage with it, and she starts dragging you up the hallway.
Okay, the moment I hear the name Joshua and there's like I can hear them moving, I will probably try to follow.
As you try,
can I do it sneakily?
You're gonna try and sneak past the guard that's watching.
Feck, no, can't do that.
I mean, you can attempt to roll stealth.
What with my stealth stats? No, I would no. No offense, but I have a stealth. My hit to miss on stealth is sadness.
Okay.
So no, I will not try this. But the thought was there. But I will try to maintain. I will try to maintain my focus on what's going on until I can no longer. And then I will try and find Esther.
Sorry, I'm a bit confused. What is it you're doing? Sorry, exactly.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to keep my ears on my heightened senses focused on the noises of Diego being dragged off. See if I can get a vague idea of what direction. And the moment that I cannot hear Diego or what's happening anymore, I will try to find Esther.
I will point out that because the room is echoing so much, you'll probably hear him being dragged the entire way.
Okay.
And plus, you rolled really high on your
oh yeah
thing. You're going to be hearing for a good while before you don't hear anything, which might be suggestively a bit too late.
Okay, but if I get a vague do I hear where they're taking him, or
you just hear him moving further away from the door?
Okay, at the moment I hear him moving further away from the door, I will try and find Esther.
Okay.
Keywords they're being try.
Esther,
you saw the direction she was heading in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but he doesn't know that Cloak of Shadows requires you to stand still, I don't think. So...
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Well, I do, but he doesn't.
You can tell he's looking for you, though.
Okay.
Do you break the cloak, or...
Once she sees he's like kind of looking around in the general direction that she went off, she'll just kind of she grinds her teeth a little bit more and just she takes a step, like again, clicks the lighter shut and then shuffles around in her pocket again, like she's come back from a smoke break, and she just goes over to Charlie. What is it?
Okay. I'm going to be whispering, and hopefully no one can hear me. I don't know if I need to roll anything for this.
No, there's a lot of things going on.
Okay. Right. It seems like Diego may or may not have tried to have an altercation with someone. I heard his body being slammed to the floor, and something about Joshua being fed twice tonight.
Oh shit, that's not good. Is the security guard still there?
He is still there. He hasn't. Other than the little move he did to the be a bit closer to the crowd, he is still watching over the place.
Okay. She looks over at the security guard and looks back at Charlie. All right, you're good at persuading people, no?
Decently, yes.
All
what
right.
do you need?
You go to the guards and somehow persuade him to let you inside. Say that you're a big fan and you want to meet the prize fighter face to face or something. I'll come in behind you invisible. You just keep the door open behind you for a few seconds longer, and then I slip inside after you, and then that should get us both inside.
Okay. I think I have a way of doing this. Right. Okay. I adjust myself and I walk up confidently towards the security guard.
Okay, she will quickly duck again into the shadows, just so that in case any mortals are possibly watching this conversation, and then she will unseen passage so she can move with invisibility and just stay right behind Charlie, and she'll just gently have her hand on his, like gently press between his shoulder blades so that he knows that she's there.
Okay.
Unseen passage does require a rouse check, though.
Okay, rouse check.
That did not roll anything.
So the rouse check means you gain a point of hunger.
Yeah.
But the ability still goes off.
She just kind of twitches a little bit and just tries to push down a growl that rises up in her throat.
I need to check something on your character sheet. One moment, please.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Maybe to full screen. How much hunger do you have? Where is it?
I now have 2 if I failed that.
Yeah. Sometimes this Roll20 character sheet can be a pain because it cuts off the bottom slightly. Okay. Oh, I know why. There we go. If I zoom out a bit more, that fixes it. Okay, you're fine for now.
Okay.
Cool. Talon, you approach the security guard. What do you want?
Hello, my good sir. I would hope that I'd be willing to let me through so that I could have a few words with the prize fighter tonight. The Spider, I think he's called. The fight was absolutely amazing, and I was with my entourage over there in the VIP booth, and I was hoping that I could pass on kind regards and hopefully have a word and congratulate him in person for such an amazing bout.
Unless the VIP is of someone of significant stature, no one is allowed back here.
Oh, that's a shame. Okay, now I'm about to do something really dodgy here, Scarlett, so I expect you to punish me for this one. Oh, it's a shame. I was actually over there with Lady Amina, and I was kind of hoping that acting as a member of her entourage, that I'd at least be able to say some words on her behalf.
He raises his eyebrow at you. The lady is here this evening?
Oh, yes. She's actually having a little bit of a issue. In fact, if you could actually have a word with the bookie, it might actually be quite good for your favour, actually. She seems to be having a problem. You see, she bet on the Spider winning tonight, and for some reason they just won't pay her. It's awfully uncivil.
Excuse me, are you telling me that Madame Armina is being uncivil?
No, I'm saying that the bookie's being uncivil.
Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Look, I need you to watch this door for a minute. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I need to make sure she doesn't kill someone again. And he just sprints off before you can even respond.
Okay, so certainly I will stay right here. At which point I open the door just enough to let one person through.
You just feel a little pat against your back, kind of a good boy gesture from Esther as she goes in right behind him.
And I close the door behind her.
As you enter the room, you see that Diego has been dragged past the T section slightly and is making their way to the room. It's like, you two, who are you? You're not staff.
I'm invisible.
Well, oh yes, you're right. Sorry, you're still invisible. You, who are you? You're not staff. What are you doing here?
Me, I was staying on the outside of the door.
Oh, you're staying on the other side, are you? Oh,
I'm staying on the other side.
Oh, I misinterpreted. Sorry, my mistake.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm not going in there. I have the combat effectiveness of a wet flannel. I'm useless.
Okay.
As do I, but I might be able to hit somewhat.
I can't even do that.
Just throw a shoe at her or something. Just help!
Okay, Esther, you see Diego being dragged. He's about a quarter of the way up past the T section that you can see, and he is being slowly dragged by the neck along the floor.
Esther will just kind of gauge the person that is dragging them. Is this the same woman that she saw earlier in the lab coat?
It is, yes.
She starts to walk up. She does a quick glance around. Is anyone else in this hallway other than the three of them?
No, you appear to be alone.
Okay. What she'll do is she has the collars of her coat up. She will grab a scarf that she's wearing and just have it like, actually, no, fuck it. She's gonna be recognized anyway. God fucking damn it. God damn it, Diego. Okay, she
Can I do a quick thing?
What do you want to
Go ahead.
I'll like it means that you can think for a bit. I'm gonna do something fucking stupid.
Okay.
It's Diego.
Knife.
It's on
Can
brand.
I grab it?
You want to grab your knife?
Can I grab it though?
Are you trying to grab it in a way that's like subtle, so she doesn't notice, or are you just gonna be
Subtle.
very like
Subtle.
Okay.
Very fucking subtle.
Make a subterfuge and dex.
Please, dice, don't be dicks.
You are able to grab. Wait, let me just check if you didn't roll any ones. You rolled 1-1, so that becomes a 3 successes. Let me just make a roll for her. I'm not going to just let you do things.
Please.
She doesn't notice you slip your hand into your pocket.
Thank fuck. Thank fuck. Whereabouts is she holding me?
She's got
like.
She's walking. So you're being dragged backwards. She's facing away from you. She's got basically your hand on your neck, and she's just walking forwards. She's not like pulling you. She's just dragging you while walking normally.
So I'm still partially stood. I'm just kind of stumbling backwards, really.
Yeah.
From what I'm gathering.
You're basically laying. Your ass is flat on the floor. Your torso is a bit tilted, and you're being dragged forwards.
Is there an ankle reach, really?
Ankle. Okay, so I'm assuming you're grabbing it with your right hand because I think that's your dominant.
Yes.
So, if you wanted a point of reference, you'd be able to basically hit anything on the right side of her body, up to probably from where you're being dragged. You'd probably be able to just poke her armpit, but you wouldn't be able to like get the face, for example, or the neck.
No. Like low on the body.
You'd be able to hit anywhere, point on her leg.
Back of the knees. What about ankles?
Anywhere on the leg.
Anywhere. Ooh. Da, 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 da. For the knees, it needs to be easier to hit, I feel. Wouldn't they?
Let me just visualize. You'd be reaching around to hit her knees, but you have a very direct straight
Like
line
the back
to the
of them.
back of the knees. Yes.
Yeah. I wish to try and do that.
So you're gonna just go straight for a thrust into the back of her leg.
Straight into it.
Okay.
If I can.
Let's make a melee. Are you trying to be sneaky with the stab, or are you just not being subtle? You're just gonna go straight full force.
Subtle. I want to try and be subtle with this.
Sorry, I'm just thinking what I'm gonna let you roll it with.
If it's easier, I can go full force.
I'm just thinking if it's still strength or dex. Okay.
If I'm going subtle, I'd say dex.
Yeah.
Personally.
No, I'm just thinking. Do I want you to roll like if you're trying to be like a sneaky stab? Do I want you to roll subterfuge first to see if she spots you doing it?
I'm
just thinking.
Because as soon as I hit, if I hit, I want to twist the knife as well.
So I'm just thinking how I'm ruling this.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I think basically if you're pulling it straight from your pocket and going straight in for the stab, she wouldn't have the reaction time to notice it. So make a melee using dex as your attacking stat. No, using strength as your attacking stat, because that's the correct one, really.
Melee with what?
Strength. Ooh,
I hate these dice today.
You're not having a good... Oh, I was going to say give it an extra 2 dice because you're doing it very subtle, like from the stealthy grab of the knife. So add another 2 more d10 on top of that. Ooh.
Ooh, that's a 10.
Nice.
Something.
I'm just thinking.
That's technically
Shame it's not 2 10s, because that would be another dice you could roll.
That would have been a crit, yeah. Okay.
As we found out, tonight is not my night.
Yeah. You take the knife and you, within one quick motion, you're able to drag it and push it and basically backhand it straight into her leg. It doesn't quite purchase as well as you was hoping. You're still in a lot of pain from being punched from where you got punched. But it is enough to go... yep. No, I'm just thinking... No, with your strength, you hear an uncomfortable...
I don't have a lot of strength.
Yes, but you're still a vampire.
True.
There is a crack noise as it goes through the bone.
Oof.
She roars in pain, and she retaliates. As she pulls you up by your neck and throws you across the hall.
Towards me or further down the hall?
Further down, not away from you. You go flying, you take a superficial damage when you collide with the wall. She goes...
Hey, think of it.
She starts panting. The knife is still in her leg because it pierced the bone. Got a bit stuck.
Let me keep that in my hand.
Once Diego has been released from her grip and there's been distance put between them, Esther will drop... This is going to bite her in the ass. She'll drop Unseen Passage and she'll just call out, "Tisk, tisk, tisk. It's sad little puppies are causing you trouble. How about I take them off your hands?"
She is very distraught at this moment in time where she's just been stabbed. as you hear an uncomfortable crunch as she pulls the knife out of the back of her leg. And she looks at it. She turns to face you and is like, I'm having a bit of a bad mood right now. Who the fuck are you?
That little pest has been a thorn in my side for quite some time. Why don't you let me take them off your hands, and you don't have to worry about this little headache anymore.
This one just put this thorn in the back of my kneecap.
And this one has also caused great strife to my friend and I.
She looks and goes,
Esther's just got her hands in her pockets, kind of making a gesture that she's just kind of trying to give the air that she's stronger than she appears.
she's making herself seem bigger kind of deal.
Yeah. And she will, upon that, use or to add that extra boost of confidence to herself.
Okay, I think you need to rouse check for all, so... Pretty sure you do.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
I'm not sure if I do for awe. I don't think I do for awe. It's usually the first level ones you don't need to.
Normally, yes, but I think because you're using it on another vampire, though.
Or do they have to roll against?
That's why I'm just getting the rules for real quick. Just
Cool. Sorry.
Moment. Which category was it in? I always forget. Which discipline was it? I always forget this one. Stephanie?
Sorry?
Which discipline is it? Sorry.
It's manipulation.
Oh yeah, of course it's manipulation.
Manipulation presence.
If you want a page number, it's 267.
Oh, I was going the wrong way. That's why. Okay, 267. Cost is free. Dice pools. Manipulation versus composure. Presence versus composure and intelligence. Okay, so roll me a manipulation and presence as your skill check, please.
Oh, that was just a rouse check?
No, it doesn't need a rouse, but you need to see if you're success. It's a versed thing, so she'll need to roll against it to see if it's effective. 10. There should be more dice there.
Yeah, my manipulation's quite good. Can I just try and re-roll that with d10s?
Yeah, just add the d10s that you were missing.
Okay, so that's 2. I should be adding 2 more d10s to that.
Yeah, you've only rolled 4 dice, and I know you have more than that.
There we go.
So that's 3 successes.
Okay, and she needs to roll on composure and intelligence. I'm going to say her composure is compromised on account of being shanked.
She deserved.
She kind of steps back a little bit from you. She looks a bit... Oh no. Normally, I wouldn't let someone who slighted me be dealt with someone else, but as you can tell, I'm in a vast amount of pain right now.
Girls, why don't you go clean yourself up and enjoy the rest of your evening? I'll make sure that they'll be properly taken care of.
You better do. I need to speak to Joshua. She lumbers a bit closer to Diego. She walks past the star door and stands over Diego. She spits on your face and then walks back into the room. Could both of you make... I'm telling you, still got your finger enabled, don't you?
Oh yeah, I heard all of that.
Can Esther and Diego make perception tests? Diego do using perception using wits. Diego, you're doing it -2 dice because you're currently in a bit of agony and you're not really concentrating.
Sorry, that's wits and awareness?
Yes, wits and awareness.
All right. Oh shit! I forgot to do the -2. Oops.
Roll it again because we'd have to work out what.
Yeah.
I think.
So 2 successes.
It's
Just give Diego a second to roll again. Oh, no. There we go.
I still got 2 successes.
As the door opens, you and Charles definitely hears this. You hear, as the door opens, you hear this kind of unusual crunching kind of sound.
Oh no.
The door closes and you're no longer able to hear it.
Esther will walk over to Diego, grab them by the scruff of the shoulder, and just pull them to their feet.
Which door is this?
The star door. One of the star doors.
What's on the star? Like, is there a name on the star?
It says Mr. Montgomery on it.
And the other one?
The other one says guest.
I'm gonna quickly rush over to the guest one.
Esther just like blanches as she looks at Diego walk away without so much as a thank you. And she just like has the most disgusted and furious expression on her face, but she says nothing. But she will not forget this.
I want to try and open the door.
She will remember this.
So she will remember this.
Look, right now I have priorities. You are not one of them.
You stumble towards the door, a bit of a limp, given you probably landed a bit awkward on one of your legs.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able to walk as normal, just a bit of pain. The door opens, and there's no one inside of it.
Shit. Fuck no! I need to be in the other one. Oh, fuck. But I'm in no state. I don't like this. What have you done? He turns to Esther and is like, and points to the door and is like, he kind of after that he then kind of goes over to it. Do you stop me?
Which door? The one with the guest or the one with the...
I've already been to the guest one and it's empty. And
Okay.
he's just looked horrified at you and then headed towards the Montgomery one, which she's just gone into.
Wait, you've gone to the one with Mark Montgomery.
I'm heading towards it. Do you stop me?
She just snaps her fingers to get your attention. And she just shakes her head and gestures for you to come over to her. So they're away from the door.
How close are you to me?
Well, she pulled you up, and then you walked away without saying anything.
How far away, Scarlet, are we?
You would have been about 5 steps away from. She's about 5 steps away from you.
Okay. I'm gonna put my hand on the door. And I want to lean closer and see if I can hear anything.
Esther will throw up her hands. She will walk away from the door marked Montgomery, and she will cloak of shadows and stay perfectly still as she watches Diego kill himself.
You hear that crunching noise once again.
He turns to us. We need to go in.
Not without Charlie. There's 2 in there, not just 1.
My friend's in there.
She grits her teeth and...
You can hear all this, by the way, Charlie.
Okay, Okay, so where's this guard?
He hasn't returned yet.
No, the trouble is I'm in a bit of a weird situation here because I really want to
You're
go
in a
help
weird
you guys.
situation.
No, hang on, wait one bloody moment. But if I do, and I move away from here after name dropping Amina, I will fucking die. So I'm going to what? So I'm kind of like I'm that meme right now. I'm sweating profusely. If I could sweat, I want to go help these people, but also I know that if I go in there, I would basically just be a spare punching bag, and there would be literally no point me being there. So I might as well stay here because I'm a coward.
I'm gonna try and push the door open slightly. Slightly.
Esther's invisible and she's watching this happen.
Make a stealth and dexterity roll, please.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Did you roll any ones?
No,
No, you did not.
please.
I need to roll a little bit of dice. Okay. Okay. You peek the door open very, very gently, just so you can see just inside the gap. You can see the woman that you saw, and she appears to be basically trying to stitch up the wound very gracefully. Inside the room, there is only one light and it's dangling from the roof. You assume that you see Joshua as he stood facing away from you. He's he's shirtless, his red hair kind of tied in a ponytail. He's tied up and he's facing away from you. But what you can see is a chair in the middle of the room, but he's stood in front of it. He's kind of kneeled down in front of it, and you can see Quincy's face. He is being gagged. You can see him. He can see him moving, and the crunching's gotten a lot louder as you can see that Joshua is eating him alive.
Oh shit.
Okay, after hearing more of the crunching noises and kind of hearing, because have I got the vague gist of what's going on right now?
You probably can't tell exactly what Diego can hear, but you can hear the crunching sounds. You can't.
And
God damn it.
You was listening to when I said my friend's in there, so you could probably.
Okay, so I would have heard that. Okay, so Charlie may not be able to do anything directly, but he might be able to do something indirectly. So, so what he'll do is he will head over to God, I'm gonna regret doing this. Fuck it, here it comes. I'm going to head over towards the security guard, where Mina is. Are they still having it out, or
they're having a bit of a scrap right now? They're having a shouting match. She's having a shouting match at him. He's trying to calm her down.
In which case, I will go up to Mina. Here it comes. This is. Mina, would you? My apologies. I didn't mind to interrupt.
What
but
could
do you think
possibly want?
Maybe instead of taking it out on the poor stuff, maybe we should take it out on the spider himself. Maybe we should go to his room and see what he has to say for himself.
She looks at you a bit perplexed. You know, he probably should have done better, shouldn't he?
He really should have.
He should have killed Quincy.
Exactly. We should go right in there right now and see what the hell was wrong with him.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Maybe you're not as stupid as you look. She just barges right past you. The guard is like, no, man, please don't. And then you hear the sound of her. You're directly watching. She just flat of her hand shoves it straight through his neck. He collapses on the floor almost immediately and goes and looks towards the crowd that's circled around her. I hope no one else here is interested in stopping me right now. Everyone just backs away from it as she starts marching towards that door.
Oh, I'm going right with her.
It's going to take her a minute to get across the whole room, even at a pace.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Esther,
I will. If I can help assist by moving people out the way with my weedy noodle arms, I will do.
Esther, are you remaining stealthed?
Does she hear the footsteps approach and the commotion outside?
You would hear that now because there's a bit of shit screaming going on.
She will Cloak of Shadows then and just take a step back cautiously, unsure of what's happening, because she hasn't got heightened senses, so she doesn't know who's coming.
Right. Diego? Diego?
Kind of panicking. Give me a moment. Because I'm in such a bad situation. If I want to go in, but I'm dead if I do. But I'm dead. But he's dead if I don't. Ah. Oh. Ah.
Esther will just have her eyes like darting between the door to the room and then the door that leads to outside. And she'll just kind of try and like, almost as though she's kind of trying to psych herself up, and she just kind of like flexes her jaw as though she's just getting her fangs ready, because she does want to take a bite out of Joshua because he is a fellow Malkav and he does not want to waste. She does not want him to go completely to waste. So she's just bracing herself for whatever is coming towards them, and she's just readying Cloak of Shadows in case it's someone she doesn't know.
Okay. Diego, have you decided what rational thing you're going to do?
I'm just gonna have to fucking do it.
You're gonna break in.
He would, and I hate it, but he would. I'm just trying to think if I can use any disciplines here that would help.
Nope.
I'll
have a look at your character sheet with you, see if there's anything.
It's just kind of one of those. I've just found the discipline pages. Oh, I was staring at them.
So if you're just planning on barging in, probably celerity would be your best bet.
I'm thinking of rushing in and going straight for him.
For Quincy or
Montgomery. Kind of like to try and grab him.
You're gonna try and restrain Joshua, are you? Or you're gonna try and pull Quincy out? Sorry, just clarify.
Try and restrain Joshua.
Okay.
Because he's closest to the door, I believe. Is
so
how I.
If you have fleetness, so it would increase your speed. Or I think you have something in potence that might be useful. This way, potence. That's presence. I've gone. Sorry, chat. I just need to catch up with the book. Potence. Lethal body is capable of doing horrendous damage to mortals, tearing skin and breaking bones with bare fingers. Nah, the only one you'd have that would be relevant would be the celerity power.
Yep.
Does Esther notice that Diego is visibly nervous?
Yes.
Okay.
He would be looking horrified right now.
She'll lean down and say quietly to Diego, "You split them apart. I'll take care of Joshua. He is blood of my blood."
With that, he takes a nod and goes to help Quincy.
Okay, so you're casting the celerity power, correct?
Yes.
I still have presence up.
I currently don't have it on the page, so I might need you to tell me if I need to do a rouse.
You'll need to make a rouse check, yes.
How do I roll that? My
Roll,
first power.
You roll a d10. If it's a success, you don't gain a point of hunger when using it.
Okay.
You gain a point of hunger.
Nope. Yep.
Okay. You feel like the world beginning to slow down kind of around you. You're perceiving things faster than you normally would. An unusual sense of speed and sensation builds upon you. Do you rush it? Are you rushing in now, are you?
Yes.
Okay, who is it you're going for? Because you said you agreed that you would split them up. Are you going for the woman and Steph and Esther's going for Joshua?
I assume she meant.
I meant Quincy and Joshua. If he's currently feeding on Quincy, to split the two of them apart, and then she'll tackle Joshua.
Right. Okay. Okay, Diego, you barge in.
Yes.
Okay. Esther, you notice he goes at a speed you've never seen him move before. It was unreal how fast he took off from a standing still.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. As the door flings open and they move forward, Esther kind of just, her eyes flicker for a moment. Even her blind eye seems to like dart all around in its socket as she just tries to like tap into those triggering moments deep in her memory. She thinks of the stench, and she sees white coats, and she sees people with syringes and stethoscopes as she just tries to like visualize Joshua wearing an orderly's uniform to make this easier for her.
Okay.
And then the moment that they're separated, she is just going to full body tackle him and sink her fangs into his neck.
Question, are you making a composure kind of thing to restrain it, or are you just letting the beast take control?
She's trying to tap into that beast. She's got fairly good hunger at the moment, so she's not letting the beast take full control, but she's just trying to like tap into that side of herself so that she can more go on instinct, because she's not a physically strong fighter.
Okay, make a composure test, please, for me.
Okay.
Using... Ooh, what fancy stat am I going to let you
Would it be resolve, because she's still trying to control herself?
I'm going to say resolve, yeah, I agree with that. Composure and resolve. Is there any ones in there?
No, it was all 4s, 5s, and a 6.
You feel your senses lose it yourself slightly. The triggering memories struggle to fully abate the raw emotion that goes into your mind. You are able to visualize Joshua dressed as the man that has once harmed you so. And then a rage takes over your body, but you are in control. Quincy,
okay.
I need to make sure I do the Diego's bit first, okay?
Yep, sure thing.
Diego, you're just trying. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna drag? Are you gonna like grab Josh from behind and throw him? You're gonna like just push him apart? What's the intention?
Shit. I don't know what would be the easiest, because I don't know how he's got hold of him.
He's basically on his knees and he's chewing what you can assume is from his legs. So he's not even directly facing you, and he's very deep into it. So he probably hasn't had even a chance to respond to the door opening, let alone you charging in.
Can I throw him off?
So what you're gonna do? Like grab him on the shoulder, just pull him back?
I want to try and do just the least amount of damage to Quincy. There's no way. I'm just gonna be ripping flesh. Right. I'm just gonna have to throw him off somehow, like pull him off.
You're gonna grab him by the shoulders and try and throw him towards Esther.
Yeah.
Okay, make a strength and brawl check for me, please. I'm going to do this with a +3 modifier due to the speed that you're running into the room with. Okay,
Oh my god, there's no one!
no ones.
Hallelujah!
Was that with the +3?
Yeah, that's all the
Yeah.
dice. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
His resistance. He is getting a negative modifier because he's not paying attention to you. With the speed and gusto that you run into the room, you're able to, before even the woman who is tending to her wound and trying to stop the amount of mess from in her leg, before she's even able to respond, you sprint in at such incredible speeds, and you grab Joshua from behind and you pull him away and throw him towards Esther. You hear the sound of tearing flesh as he was biting and chewing on Quincy. You don't really get a chance to look at Quincy as you're throwing him, but you can see debris, cartilage, probably some bone being spewing across the floor from his mouth. Esther, do you avoid the flying vampire that's going at you? Do you go straight in for attack? How do you approach this?
Just quickly for clarification, while she was trying to psych herself up with those triggering memories, she did take off her coat and leave that outside because it's going to be messy.
Okay.
So she takes off her coat, just leaves it kind of on the floor. So she's just in her pants, shoes, and shirt. Yeah. And she will just full body tackle Joshua to the ground, wrapping her legs around his waist to just tackle him to the ground and then sink her fangs into his neck.
Okay. So he flies out. So the way Diego grabs and throws him, he'll be flying out the room. So he'll be going at some speed. So I'm assuming you're just going to dodge out the way, then leap onto him, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So he hits the wall with a lot of force to the point where it cracks the concrete. He takes an amount of damage. Cool. And you leap onto him. At the time you land on him, Armina comes through the door. Does her entering distract you, or would you feel that you're in too much of a state that you do not notice the door on the far side of the corridor open up?
She did have that moment of where she was able to hold on her composure, but she doesn't know who's coming. So she will still sink her teeth into Joshua, but she probably wouldn't be in as much of a frenzy. Okay. They've been instructed to kill this kindred, so she's going to try and drain him as much as she possibly can until told otherwise.
Okay.
Until she feels like it's getting dangerous.
Okay.
But I imagine her back's to Armina, so she doesn't know who's coming in.
No. So you're basically facing the. So you're facing the longest wall, effectively, that will go that is completely conjoined from one end to the far end. So
yep.
And she's at a parallel angle at a 90-degree angle to you. So you wouldn't even be looking directly at her, especially if you're biting into his neck.
Yep, she's just pinning Joshua down as much as she possibly can, kind of using the element of surprise to her advantage and just drinking. She doesn't want her bite to be the thing that kills him because she has been gently informed of how dangerous that is, but she wants to severely weaken him by drinking as much of him as she can.
You're trying to drain him rather than crush his neck.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, is Joshua able to resist this in any way? He is struggling to push you. He is struggling underneath you. Could you make a strength and brawl check, but with a +4 modifier?
What was the modifier again?
+4. A mix of surprise, sneak attack, suppression, all that jazz.
Okay, so that's 1 crit success with the hunger die and 1 regular success.
Yeah, but there is a 1 in there, so... Oh. What does he do? Wow, he is really shit at rolling this evening. He struggles to try and get you off, but the kind of because of the state you're in, you're just keeping him held down. Diego, in this kind of time, you have noticed that the woman is trying to get up, but obviously she's in a bit of a compromised state. You have basically the speed advantage on her. Do you try and do anything about her, or?
I'm focusing solely on Quincy.
Okay.
And like getting him out of the bindings and such.
Okay, Steph, well, everyone actually, you'll hear a scream. You hear a scream coming down from the hall. Montgomery, and then she kind of cuts off short and is like, "You." And it's basically that kind of like weird standoff kind of situation where everyone's a bit staring at each other, except with Esther, who's currently draining this man.
Yep. Also, she is drinking the blood of another Malkavian. Does she taste anything in particular?
I was just about to get to that. If you just give me a second, I'm literally trying to find the rules for it. If you just give me a second, because I know it's in here.
Just to clarify, she's this is kind of out of character, but she's not trying to diablerize him. She's just trying to drink as much as she can.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Okay, cool.
Where's this resonance? I believe the word is I'm looking for. I wouldn't suppose you know where the resonance rules are.
Give me a moment. I'm looking for them myself.
Thank you. I can never remember what it is. It's under a specific subword title. I'm just trying to find it.
Yeah. Give me a second.
I think it's called 226. There we go. Found it in the index.
Ah, brilliant.
Just need to check what it. I've got something in mind. I just need to check the exact wording. Sorry, this is taking a minute. It's a really long paragraph.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Don't worry. Vampire rules are interesting for a reason.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. I kind of threw a little bit of a monkey's wrench with.
No, don't worry.
I mean, I also had us pause for a bit, so
yeah,
I can't remember.
It gives you guys a minute to have a quick drink and while I work out how I'm yeah, it's not...
Hey, I'm just glad it's not me causing chaos for a change. Hang on, wait a minute. I dragged Amina into this. Okay, take him back.
You made this worse, I feel.
I made this so much worse.
Like, tonight's been mostly a mess. They're getting the job done. Esther's getting the job done.
Yes. You may have started, but I get the feeling Amina's probably about to finish it.
There's no problems with that. She's just... There's so few Malkavians. And she doesn't want him to go to waste.
Oh, come in. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting situation.
Sorry, I'm just processing a lot of information right now, so it's just taking me a hot minute.
It's like that meme with the freaking mathematical equations going on in the background.
Pretty much.
Hey, think of it like this, Scarlett. You just have to do the thinking so we don't have to. I am sorry.
If you want to, we could just continue the scene and then you could work out the details of resonance after the game.
I've got a couple. I know exactly what it is I want to do now.
Okay, cool.
I just had to check a couple things and a couple lore bits just to make sure I was 100% right in what I wanted to do. Okay. Esther.
Yes.
I want you to make me a composure test.
Just straight composure or anything else?
No, there is another thing I want you to roll. And I think you have it. I want you to roll. Roll composure and resolve for me, please. With a -3 penalty.
That's 2 successes and 1 hunger success. Okay. No ones.
No ones. Interesting. Esther.
Yes.
As you bite and drain the vitae of Joshua, you begin to have a premonition. You see into the room kind of fades around you as a harsh padded as the concrete replaces itself with padded cloth. It feels like your knees feel a bit softer against the ground. And you see a window where the concrete wall once was. It is blacked out and you can't see through it. In front of you is an incredibly familiar face. A burning sensation can be felt inside your mouth as a very familiar doctor sits underneath you, bleeding from the neck. I want you to make a bestial composure test.
Clarify what I need to add for that?
I want to double check because I just lost the page because I just knocked it. Bestial. It's bestial temper. 182. No, that's something else. Talon, do you know what it is off the top of your head?
What, me? Yeah, generally speaking, I think it is a willpower check.
Yep.
With oh god, what was it again? Feck. Sorry about this. I haven't rolled one of these for a very long time.
Is it a straight willpower check or is it with composure as well?
Quite possibly, but I think there's also an added thing involving your hunger with that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find.
Yes.
Bestial composure.
Bestial failure. I think the bestial page is 206.
Cheers, my dears. I would have knocked the page. I've got like 12 different things here at once. Bestial failure. It's not quite what I was looking for. But...
Ah, shame.
But I think it'll work because I think this works for the character. Overall success difference beating and opposing number beast. Just roll it as flat composure, please.
Okay. Oh no.
You lose all sense of composure. How would Esther react seeing the doctor that experimented on her? In her current elevated state, would you say?
So she's visualizing that she's actually drinking from him.
Yes.
She will honestly just start purring and just keep drinking, and she'll actually just grip the side of his face almost tenderly and just start purring and just keep drinking. Like her whole body hunches over, her upper body hunches over as she just like tightens her grip and just keeps drinking.
Okay.
Can I make a any kind of check to see if I think that she's in danger of actually killing him by drinking him?
Well, I would like to point out that your entire job here is to kill him.
Oh yeah, but I don't want to diabolizing him.
You're doing it under very quick duress as you only just bursted in with Armina. So
yeah.
Make a perception. No. Yeah, perception.
Wrong game system.
Awareness, and I'm gonna say wits because you're thinking quick on your feet, but do it with a minus one penalty.
Awareness and wits. So wits with awareness. Give me a second. Hang on. Hang on. Awareness. Where's awareness? There's awareness. Awareness with wits. Come on. With submit and a -1. Give me a second.
No ones.
Oh shit.
No ones. So you can tell she is definitely doing a lot more than just biting and draining him. She looks like she's actively consuming his vitae.
Okay, I start trying to run over there, and I say, we need to stop her before she does something she will regret. And I'm just going to run towards Esther, and I'm going to try, with my weedy noodle arms, to try and get her off him.
Okay. Esther?
Yes?
You would notice that it appears to be another scientist is running at you wearing another coat. This one seems a bit different to the one you're currently consuming, but they don't quite look familiar by face, but they look like they're trying to stop you.
She detaches from the doctor, let's say, and she looks over at you, just still gripping the doctor's face, and I imagine she's also like pinning down, say, his arm as well. And she just looks over at you with blood dripping from her fangs and over her lips, and her eyes are completely rolled back into her head as she looks at you but doesn't see you, and she snarls at you. No, please do not separate us again.
At which point I'm going to say, Esther, you don't need to do this. You're better than this. And I'm going to weakly smile at her.
Do I see this translated as this other doctor with these same characteristics?
Did you say you just reached over to her?
I kind of stopped. I reached my arm over towards her, but not within touching range. And I said, yeah.
What you see, Esther, is a kind of shaded out face because the light in your vision, and they just seem to be reaching for you. You can't quite discern any kind of things that are being said.
She will flinch back as this stranger moves towards her. How's Joshua looking? Is he out of it at this point, or is he still trying to get her off
He
him.
has stopped struggling. He looks alive, but he's very weak by the looks of it.
She will move herself around so that then she's bringing up the doctor's body in front of hers and just has one arm, like one hand clutching his face and then the other arm around his torso. So she's like positioned behind him and she just has her mouth beside his ear. And she just looks up at this strange doctor who's approached the two of them. No, you will not separate us.
Charles.
You don't need to drink him. There's better ways of doing this, Esther. Can she hear anything I'm saying?
Esther, make a composure test for me, please. Just flat.
That is 1 crit success and 2 regular successes. Hunger successes,
You're
sorry.
able to hear through muffled voices, you don't have to do this.
No.
Does she recognise my voice? That's the question.
It's a bit too distorted.
Fair enough.
No, there is no me, there is no him, there is only us. As she starts like crawling back and dragging Joshua with her.
Okay.
Again, her eyes are kind of strangely rolled up into the back of her skull, so you can see the whites of her eyes, and the veins in her eyes are just like almost like blistering and bursting with vitae.
I'm just going to turn around. I'm going to turn around. Amina, it seems that my +1 had the intention of helping us in this endeavour, but I think she may have got a bit carried away. Is there any way you think we could help the poor girl?
Give me a second. I need to do something real quick.
Fair enough.
I'm juggling pages.
That's fair.
Oh god,
Merci beaucoup, Scarlett.
97.
Pardonnez-moi.
That's the one I want. I know she has something. Yes, she does. Yes. You can tell I'm flipping through this book tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Talon, or Charles,
Yep.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You look to your left, but before you, because if you're looking to Armina, because I imagine you was like looking at Esther while you're speaking.
When I was speaking to Esther, but I turned my head to speak to Amina. I kind of got this kind of soft, like, I'm sorry, this got completely out of hand. Would you mind helping me out, please? I'm sorry.
As you spoke,
Yeah.
Armina just quick as a bullet, like impossibly fast, as just charges her way down the hallway, and before she gets like to the T-junction, she just split vanishes and then reappears behind Esther. She basically hooks her arms underneath Esther's arms and manages to pull her off of Joshua. Esther,
Yes.
You in your vision see the equivalent of a very tall presence basically trying to manhandle you. You can't really discern it as it's from behind. But you are able to hear something. It's okay. You can stop now. You may rest.
She immediately flinches and she starts to kick at feeling someone else manhandle her, but upon hearing that voice, she just tries to steady herself as best she can, and her body's still tense and twitching with adrenaline as she just looks down at the body that she's been removed from. But she doesn't kick and she doesn't make a fuss.
You see the softness of the room slowly go back to the hard concrete you were as it was, as the room kind of fades back into your perception of reality. You probably imagine try and look behind you. You see Armina kind of very over-concerned holding you.
Upon realizing who's holding her, her eyes have adjusted themselves normally, and she just looks at Armina and gives a solemn nod and a apologetic look.
In that time, I just want to say, because something else is happening else at the same time. The woman who you originally saw has bolted out of the room. Diego, she completely ignored you.
Mm-hmm.
She grabs Joshua, picks him up over her shoulder, and escapes and belts away out of the back door.
What? So fast that none of us can do anything.
I mean, Talon, you have a chance to respond because you're the only one not occupied at the moment.
Oh yeah, if she tries to do that, I'm going to have to do something very, very stupid. I'm going to try positioning myself in the way. If she doesn't stop, I guess I'll try to attack her.
Okay. Make a willpower and composure test to see if you have the stomach to avoid it.
Okay, willpower and composure. Give me a moment. This is going to be terrible.
No, not willpower and composure. Wits and composure. Resolve and composure. Sorry.
Resolve. Okay, yeah. Resolve.
Let's see if you can hold. Let's see if you can hold your stomach.
Cancel that. Resolve. Composure. Give me a second. No modifier. Shit!
You're able to feel like you can stand your ground.
Okay.
Make a melee strength attack, I'm guessing? A brawl strength attack?
Watch this, people. This is going to be funny. Hang on, what is it? It's a brawl with strength. Hang on, give me a second. I've got too many windows up. It's not responding.
It's fine.
Council. Come on. Okay, let's try that again. Sorry about this. Core. Brawl.
And strength.
Strength. I might as well not roll anything. A success.
Okay. Her response. She's got a lot of dice here. You try to throw a punch, you think, oh, she's carrying someone, she won't be able to respond to this. Where basically she's got him over one shoulder and her other shoulder's free. She just shoulder barges you into the concrete. As she barges past you, you take 2 superficial damage from the impact into the wall, and she
lovely.
And she barges past you. She goes out to the rear entrance. You probably hear the door slam behind you. Diego, sorry, you've been waiting very patiently. Sorry,
It's alright.
You're looking at Quincy. His entire right leg up to the kneecap has been completely devoured, and basically halfway up the shin of the left leg has been eaten. He is leaking vitae at a very rate, and he looks like he's fading in and out of consciousness. He's currently gagged, so he's but he's not really screaming. He looks like he's unable to manifest his voice very well.
I'm gonna ungag him and try. Is there anything other than the gag that I could use to what's the word? just cut the blood flow to the legs, obviously.
You're trying to bind the wound?
She wants to do I can't remember the name, but she basically wants to wrap the leg to try and
Oh,
cut
yeah.
off the blood supply.
So he stops losing blood, basically.
Yep, there is. You could use because it's a
Because if there's nothing else, I'll just tear like
rag.
part of my clothes.
It's just a rag. He's got his hands tied up with rope behind his back of the chair. There is a first aid kit in the room that you can spot if you're panic looking around. There is a lot of things in the room that might be able to use as a.
I'll if I see, I'll probably be focusing on him, so I'll be using what's tied him up to do
all the medicine stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tourniquet. Thank you,
before I
Sam.
look for a
Thank you, Samuel. Tourniquet. That's it. I don't think there's really a medicine. No, there is medicine. You do
There is.
have.
I do have one point in it.
I'm gonna say medicine and composure, and I'm saying that because you're probably in a very mentally unwell state at this point.
Oh yeah, I will be.
Yeah, so medicine and
Any
composure.
modifiers?
No modifier.
Okay.
Actually, +1. This is something you've done probably a lot. Just add another D10 on top. Okay, 2 successes.
Yeah.
So the leg that has been mostly chewed off is a bit easier it's a bit hard. It's harder to tie up because it's up to his thigh. So obviously it's a lot larger of a surface area. Yeah. The one that's only gone up to the shin, you're able to tie it. You wrap it around, tie it up, keep it bandaged as well as you can to basically pull the blood as much as you can and cut off as much of the blood supply. The other one you're struggling with, but you are able to at least drastically slow it down as you do it.
After doing that, I'll give him a light tap on the cheek and was like, "Stay with me as I look for the first aid kit."
Okay,
I'm gonna
say you're going to be seating to his care at the point, so we'll go back to you in a minute, okay? Because that's what you'll be doing for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Amina's still holding Esther. It's like, it's okay. You can stop now. It's okay.
Esther is gritting her teeth and just kind of nodding. And is she lifted off her feet or is she just being held?
You're just being held. She's basically on the floor with you. She sat down and you're kind of lying against her.
She glances over her shoulder at Lady Amina and she has the smallest smile on her face. My apologies, Lady Amina. I did not mean for you to see me like this.
It's not the first time I've seen one of your kind like this. It's fine, honestly.
But where is he?
We had to let him go to make sure that you didn't do something you was going to regret.
Fuck!
Don't worry. I know where he's going, and we're not the only ones trying to get him either. From what I've heard, at least.
Well, she tries to get up. Well, we have no time to waste then. And she's just looking around, and the veins in her eyes are just full, and there's a couple of blood blisters that have burst in her eyes as she just is trying to get to her feet.
You are not. This is Armina speaking. You are not in the state to be doing anything else this evening. You need to rest.
Fine. This is not the first time this has happened, and this is better than these. It's just been a while, all right?
And it's okay. This happens to your clan a lot. But you need to make sure you're composed, or you're going to commit delivery.
Amina's right. We need to have a focused mind on this one, and we need to rest.
All right, but we still can't let them get away. If they're heading to somewhere tonight, we need to catch up with them.
I will see what I can do about that. Besides, that bastard managed to not just completely upset Lady Amina here. He also managed to hurt one of my friends immensely. I am not going to let this slide. Have no worries about that. We'll get the bastard.
Amina kind of loosens her grip on you. She's like, I'm going to let you stand up now, okay?
What?
She stands up behind you and offers a hand to pull you up.
She accepts the hand and gets to her feet. Question: was it very messy, or was it she is able to drink most of it? Because it would make a difference if, like, the front of her shirt is just saturated in blood, or if she just needs a handkerchief to clean herself up.
You are dripping in vampire vitae right now over
Okay.
your front.
Okay, she looks down at herself and she almost just throws her hands up like, I apologize, this is quite embarrassing for me. Usually I'm not this uncouth.
It's absolutely fine. It's not the worst I've seen, if it's any consolation to you.
Thank you. I got quite good at controlling myself for the most part. It's I've just been a little on edge tonight. But we can't let them get too far. If you know where they're heading, they're likely to change plans.
She just puts her finger, like, kind of cutely on your lips. It's like, did you see how much damage you did to that person? He is not leaving the city for at least a few days. You drained most of his vitae.
It's rather impressive, actually.
And she takes her finger off your lips.
Well, I heard it is a good point to have a healthy appetite, no?
Yes, but we try to avoid eating our own kind.
It's difficult, but there's not a great many Malkavian, and he's attached to someone that I care about.
I understand that, but for now, I think what you need to do right now is you need to go back to your domain and get some rest. Maybe get something to eat on the way home, because you look like a state.
The thing is, I'm not sure if I can eat anything else tonight. Otherwise, it might be a little bit too gluttonous for my taste.
Understand.
And she just kind of licks like her teeth and just gulps down the last that's in her mouth.
She just kind of shakes her head and goes, I'll be sure. We'll have to send someone over or something to check on you in the morning. She looks towards Charles and she's like, you will check on her, won't you?
Certainly. There's no way I'd let this lie.
Good. She turns back to you. Her smile returns. Look, I care very much for your clan. They've been a feature of my work for a very long time. But if you was to finish what you was doing that time, I would have had no choice but to have destroyed you. That's what it means to be part of the Camarilla. Do you understand?
I understand. I apologize for losing myself in that moment. I did not intend to consume him in the manner in which you are insinuating. I just did not want to lose another of the blood of Malkav without it being given to myself.
I understand that, but there are rules that we need to obey.
My apologies.
Very good. Apologies are accepted. I will be sure to not tell the prince of the event of tonight's events.
That would be most appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome. She looks towards Charles and goes, and just sighs. Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm no longer angry.
That's good. I wouldn't want to be on your bad side. And I must apologise for my cowardice behaviour earlier. It was very unbecoming.
It is very disgusting.
Yes, I will endeavour to...
She just kind of brushes you off a bit and goes into the room where Diego is sat. A friend of yours?
I'm assuming that's directed to me.
It is, yes.
He just focuses on Quincy. He's just gonna ignore her.
She watches you trying to band-aid him up. It's like, she just goes, "You do understand, for him to have any chance of recovering, he needs to eat, and soon."
Just still ignoring. Still working.
She sighs. She looks towards Charles and goes, "I will do this as a one favour to you, but I do expect you to pay me back at one day, Mr. Morgan."
This is completely acceptable. I'd expect nothing less.
She leaves the room and then walks out the hallway. After about 5 to 10 minutes, you hear a struggling as she comes in, as she is dragging someone along behind her. It's like, and she goes into the room with Diego inside. "I was going to eat this one myself. What a waste of fine cut." She kind of just carefully but delicately pushes Diego aside.
He's gonna turn to her and bare his teeth, kind of being very defensive almost and protective.
She lifts up the half-dead carcass that she brought in with her, and basically puts it towards Quincy's mouth, and she basically lifts his mouth up and down, helps him chew it up. Quincy is available to at least drain some amount of blood for himself, and then she drops it on the floor. Finish that off when you can get a minute to catch your breath.
At that point, I'll move as far away from this situation as possible.
Mr. Sanders, was it? Quincy doesn't really respond. He's a bit in a deteriorated state. And she goes, "Good." She turns around and leaves the room to face Esther. "You know, the Malkavians are welcome in my domain at any time should you need anything."
That is a very generous offer, one that I most appreciate. Thank you. And she bows her head much more deeply in a gesture of respect.
You don't. You hear a slight giggle from her. "Thank you, madam." I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave, as I probably will have some kind of explaining to do to the prince, but I will do my best to make sure that at least the information that I provide will not include the events of what happened between you and Mr. Montgomery here.
It would be most appreciated. Merci.
Merci. No, sorry. S'il vous plaît. Sorry. No, I can. My French is bad. Sorry. But she responds, "You're welcome," in French.
Yep.
Yeah. She goes, "I will see you all another evening. Au revoir." And she leaves. And I think that's a good spot to end it on. Okay, so you did excellent tonight. I'm going to be generous and award everyone 4 experience points for this evening. Thank you all very much for watching. We will be back again in 2 weeks to continue on, assuming there's no conflict of schedules for anyone on the 10th of February.
No,
Nothing on my schedule.
Cool. So we'll pencil that in for the time being. Thank you all for watching. If you joined us late, the VOD will be out on Friday, so you can watch the rest. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.
See ya.